it's comfortable.
Hey, welcome back to Content Marketing World Chatter, brought to you by Riot Studio. I'm here with Michael Brenner, and we're taking on the difficult and challenging topic that no one wants to talk about, the appropriate way to sit in a chair during an interview. Michael, could
do you
tell
cross
us?
legs or
That gives a little bit of
I like
authority,
you're doing. You've
but some
nailed the lean
cockiness.
forward. It looks very very intense.
So we can go here and then lean back, maybe add a little Spicoli
I'm just going
to
to
it.
chill. Yeah.
We brought in probably some of the most least ergonomical chairs just to try to make our guests feel uncomfortable.
I think you're just getting old.
Maybe that's what it is. Listen, we're going to have an orthopedic surgeon come by afterwards, and he'll crack your back, and then I'll walk on it.
We'll
do that during the interview.
Sounds good.
It took us about 6 months to get through your publicist to get you on the show.
Busy.
So is that what it is? Tell us about what kind of, is most of the consulting business you do, is that coming from your ROI work?
Honestly, the biggest question I get asked to help solve is help us document what the hell it is we're trying to do with content. Everybody, every organization I work with, they have tons of it. They don't have a shortage of it. They just have no strategy, no wrapper around why they should be doing what they're doing. And so ROI comes in at the end, and I am doing a lot of work on that, but the first question, the biggest challenge is generally help us figure out what we should be doing when it comes to content.
Yeah, when I was at Cisco, we brought you in to straighten us out on that.
I tried.
Yes.
I'm still working.
That was, look, your presentation got rave reviews, by the way.
Thank you.
And a few negative comments on Yelp, but we're going to clean that up. I think those are just from angry people who didn't like your tie. Why don't you have a tie right? This is the only time I've seen you not in a tie.
Yesterday was tie day. Today is casual shirt, but always with the pocket square.
Actually, Sarah, can we get a clip-on or something from wardrobe? Thank you. Okay, great, good. I want to ask you about an announcement I read yesterday in the Wall Street Journal. New CMO position.
New York Times front page.
Yes.
Yes.
Man of the year.
That's right. So, a lot of people ask me, what are the biggest trends happening in the world of marketing? And I think personalization is definitely one. I think we're seeing a lot of marketers look at how to tap into the experts that are living inside their companies and employer branding and are we a good place to work? That's definitely a trend. The hottest trend that I've seen in the last 12 months is AI. And so, and the question I've always asked my clients is, what are you going to do when the robots start telling us what content to create? What's the role of strategy, and how are we going to start to make sure that we bring humanity, across to the clients that we're trying to new customers we're trying to gain. And so this company called Concured that has a pretty interesting AI platform that drives and informs insights across the content marketing strategy process. And so I've joined them as a part-time CMO for now, and I'm really excited to see where it's going to go. I think AI is really going to play a bigger role in the world of marketing in the future.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, pretty excited.
Now, is that what you're doing, building robots?
I am in the basement. Yes, world domination was one of the areas I wanted to get into, and yes, so robotics is.
That's one of the goals you wrote down when Joe told you to write down goals yesterday?
Since I was 8, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're the right man for it, but I'd wear a tie. Is my suggestion. I'm sorry, I got to shift seat. I can't hold that pose anymore in this chair.
It's too intense.
So I went, Sarah, can we get a beanbag in here or something? Maybe a futon. Anyway, look, don't get me wrong. I'm glad the folks at Riot set us up here with some nice furniture, and you get to keep one of the chairs after the interview.
That's
I'm not supposed to announce that yet, but of course you got to get it on the. You have to carry it on the airplane.
I'm the big winner.
Yes,
nice.
You are the big winner. You're the big winner. We got a washer and dryer set back here. You don't get to keep that, but we need you to move it. So that would be great.
No problem.
That'd be great. We met, you and I. This is our what is this? Our 18th anniversary.
It is.
To the day when you and I met up in Boston and had a seafood dinner.
We did.
Yes.
Yep.
Fond memories of that.
That's right. And our love has grown.
It has
slowly
in a very
day by
uncomfortable
day.
way, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what about yesterday? You spoke on ROI. What were some of the key questions that came up from folks while you were there?
Yeah. So I've spoken here 6 years in a row on content marketing ROI, and I feel like I haven't gotten the formula right on how to present it the right way, because ROI is a math calculation, and it's a pretty simple one. It's only revenue minus investment divided by investment. I've tried to explain that so many different ways, and I feel like I haven't hit the mark because it's really about the way we communicate why we're doing what we're doing with marketing and the content we create. That really establishes the foundation for being able to show then ultimately we met the goal and here's the proof points with the math. And so this year I really tried to focus a little bit on creating that culture of empathy inside an organization that's focused on delivering value to customers. I know you and I talk about empathy all the time. We need cultures of empathy inside our organization. Most executives think we should be talking about who we are, what we sell, and why we're better. And that just doesn't work anymore. So in order to show ROI, we have to start actually showing our customers we really do care about them. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's the only way it works. And so I presented that yesterday. I gotten some good feedback so far. Like you said, there was a Yelp review that was a little bit negative, but you're going to take care of that for me.
Well, that was actually from a robot.
Oh, well, there you go.
To be fair.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry about it. Look, how do you, when I try to talk to organizations about using humor and trying to humanize the brand with some levity and self-deprecation, a lot of what I think are the most important metrics are not quantitative, but the qualitative metrics. Like if you get a tweet from an analyst or someone in the press that says something kind about the brand or warms up to that, I mean, I think that's a good thing. And I think that's a powerful thing, and maybe even more powerful than some of these metrics that we're tracking. And is there a way to calculate that into the ROI?
There is. I mean, I think there's engagement measures that, like, you can see, for example, a video. A video that's funny gets viewed. A video with a real human talking about the challenges they face in their everyday, maybe it's serious and maybe it's funny, is way more engaging, from any different measure, whether it's dwell time or, the percentage of the video that's been viewed or the number of times it's been shared. There's plenty of metrics that I think show that. I actually think the metrics do show that humanized content, humorous content, we don't like share videos of cats that aren't funny. We share videos of cats that are funny. And so I think brands should learn from the kinds of content that we're all competing with to create the content that people actually want to consume. It's often not talking head videos.
Yep, boom. All right, we're out of time, but there you have it. Spend more time on cat videos.
Cat videos.
Michael Brenner, thanks for joining us, sir.
Thank you, Tim.
All right, good to see you.
Always a pleasure.
try less hard.
Hey, welcome back to Content Marketing World Chatter, sponsored to you by Riot Studio, and we have our sponsor here with us now for this segment, Catherine Friedrich. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you also for sponsoring this series. It's been a lot of fun.
You're welcome. It's been great to watch online and see the previous presenters and conversations you've had with people.
Yeah, there haven't been too many complaints so far.
Good.
You know, we try to keep it peaceful. So, tell us first about Riot Studio.
Yeah, so Riot started out as an independent humanitarian filmmaking documentary company, and we were acquired by AOL, and now we're part of this larger company of Verizon, Yahoo, and AOL. And Riot is the in-house creative studio for that entire group and portfolio of brands. So what we're trying to do and what we're working with our advertising partners on is trying to connect the unmatched distribution that we have with those Oath brands in the portfolio with Riot's purposeful storytelling and actionable content for consumers.
Yeah, and I think I read the announcement about you making the move over there in Variety less than a year ago, right?
Yeah, I've been here for probably about 6-7 months now.
Okay.
So just February.
So what I imagine they want, with your deep experience from Google and YouTube, you're a perfect match for someone who knows what's going to work and how to help shape stories. Can you tell us a little bit about how your experience from the YouTube days helps you guide and direct storytelling?
Sure. So YouTube was a phenomenal learning and testing ground. When I started at Google, I want to say 12, 15 years ago, I was at Google for a better part of a decade. They had just purchased YouTube and trying to figure out how to monetize it. What it turned out to be was this amazing platform for content creators, as well as an opportunity for brands to reach their customers through content. What I learned through being there, and actually it's been incredibly helpful now that I'm at Oath, is that content and just developing an audience isn't the end game, for brands anyway. You can create amazing stories and consumers love them, but brands have different ideas on where they want to be and who they want to be partnered with. So what is fascinating and amazing about Riot being part of Oath is that we have a portfolio of brands that are tremendous at reaching an audience in this brand safe environment, and there's actually real content that we own. At YouTube, we didn't own anything, so it was constantly this partner trying to connect the dots between brands and influencers, whereas we have the influencers at Oath, we own the content, so we really understand the audiences that are there, not only what they're watching, but why they're watching it. And so from our perspective, when we're creating content for brands, we're actually tapping into all of that data and insight from a what and a why to understand the consumer. So we're building content specifically for the distribution outlets that we have.
So my role in the past has been like writing and producing comedy videos for IBM and Cisco.
Yeah.
The challenge for us is we always wanted to try to build an audience and put a long-term plan together for content. The budget wasn't there.
Yeah.
Budget's always tied to some product group, and the only time we get a chance to make a video is when a launch was coming up and there was launch money attached, and they say, hey, we need a launch video. And it was always these one-offs.
Yeah.
How do you convince a brand what the value is of taking this kind of comprehensive strategy across content?
It's definitely hard, and it's particularly hard because digital is held to a higher standard. Yeah. It's known for the return on investment. And if you're not showing immediate return on investment, it's really hard to prove that there was value there. What I presented earlier today was a couple of pieces of research where we looked back at campaigns of brands who were running across the spectrum of advertising. So not only upper funnel activity like content and investment in content, but also all of the lower funnel, like acquisition marketing type of content products. So programmatic, things like that. When we looked at year over year and saw when investment dollars decreased in content, the whole social conversation around that brand decreased by more than 60%.
Really?
Yep. So it really helps to prime the funnel. You just have to look over a longer period of time.
Right.
That immediate investment to ROI is hard to see, but if you keep more of an always-on strategy and always-on conversation, it actually proves to be incredibly beneficial in the long run. There's some marketers out there, I think, that do a great job, like Geico, for instance. Everybody knows that gecko,
right.
and no matter what the message is now, you see it. But I'm sure when they first launched that campaign, nobody knew the gecko, but they had enough wherewithal to keep it going and develop that brand equity in order to make those returns on investments work for them. There are lots of brands that are leaning in, but they have to give it time.
I imagine that 60% number gets people's attention.
Yeah.
And then they're saying, okay, we need to rethink this, and how do we change the budget around that?
We've seen exactly that. Once with this particular advertiser I have in mind, that saw that 60% drop year over year in social conversations, they started to invest in content, and surprisingly, almost immediately they saw social conversations go up. So I think it was you can see that direct correlation to the spike in social conversations for brands once the investment back in content. And the interesting is they didn't change any other part of their marketing budget, just the turn off of content and the turn on of content. So it was a really apples to apples comparison year to year.
Now, how can you, what's the best way you can offer support to a, more of a middle tiered company, which may not have a huge marketing budget or broadcast budget, that type of thing?
I don't think you need a huge budget to make an impact. I think you just need to use the budget smartly and think of it more as a program versus a campaign.
Right.
And that's where a lot of people get tripped up. They think, well, I'm going to create this one piece of content and hope to break through the clutter of all of the content that's out there, and that's usually not going to work. But if you take the more holistic view and a longer term approach and think, I'm an automotive company, I'm going to launch 5 big cars this year. How do you string the message together, not create something separate for each one? So use economy of scale. I would look at movies. Studios is similar. They have how many blockbusters a year? 10 to 14 maybe. How do you leverage and create that always-on conversation and connection so that you're not always starting from scratch every time you launch something new? So I think there's ways to do it where it's a smaller investment over time that adds up to the big results, but it's difficult. And I think when you look at, so you really don't have a blockbuster kind of budget, lean into written as well as video. It doesn't always have to be a super high produced video in order to get the attention. If you know that your audience likes to reads the news, we can tell you all of those statistics from looking at our portfolio of brands and looking at the insights and data we have, and we can say, you know what, 3 articles of content is really what's going to resonate here. Written content. Doesn't have to be a blockbuster video series over time.
Right, with Bruce Willis.
Yeah, we don't need Bruce Willis.
We can let him go this time.
Right, exactly. We can get the stunt double.
So how can we find out more? Is the best place to go to riotstudio.com online?
Yes,
Is that the best?
you
can
got
find
it.
some good stories there?
You will find some good stories. We're revamping our website, which is should actually be launching now. So,
okay.
So you'll see some more there. We're going to continue to update it and populate more of the stories and brands that we're working with. But that's probably the best place to go.
Great.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you
So
for
good to
supporting this
chat.
and coming up with all this for us. And thanks for speaking to us.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Tim. Pleasure to be here.
All right. Take care, Catherine.
All right.
Bye.
thank you. I'm glad.
Okay. Can I do the introduction, please?
Oh.
Excuse me.
Hold
Ann
on.
Hanley's interrupting my intro.
Where are we
stepping on my
looking? Right
intro.
there or there?
Here with Ann Hanley. Look, you pick a camera that you want to look at. I'm looking in there right now.
Oh,
That's
hello.
where we do weather and traffic on the 8s. We're here with Ann Hanley. I'm speaking to her good side
Rain throughout the plains.
today, which we finally found.
Winds.
Ann's here just came off from winning the Lifetime Achievement Humanities Award for, we're not sure yet, but it has to do with livestock. Ann, tell us about the award yesterday.
It was a humanitarian award because I studied humanities in school, and for the first time in my life, I was very happy that I didn't study science.
Now, that's great. I think you failed out of science. Let's be honest with our viewers here. So, and physics too. But a lot of people were thinking and are upset, frankly, that you snubbed Jimmy Carter for the award. But we're happy for you. We're happy.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I feel like that Jimmy did not have an effective
Newsletter.
funnel campaign, I was going to say.
Yes.
His
okay.
nurturing was all wrong. I didn't think that he developed the right content assets to match at various points of the marketing funnel, something that I excel at. And so
Absolutely.
it's obvious why.
That's because of your funnel. That's why we have you on the show.
Yeah.
And we're starting a new series called Deep
Between
in the
two
Funnel.
funnels.
Yes, which will be, that's late time comes on. Look,
Yeah.
what would you do for Jimmy if you were going to start a newsletter? If you were sitting down here, Jimmy was talking to your good side, what would you say to him about how to start a newsletter? The key things.
Key things, Jimmy.
Learnings from Julius Caesar.
Yeah, make sure that it's from Jimmy. It's in your voice,
Yes.
Jimmy, which is a very compelling voice,
Yes.
as you know. No, I think the mistake that a lot of brands make with their content, but specifically with their email newsletters, is that they don't make it from the CEO in his or her voice. I think there's a huge opportunity that a lot of brands are missing when it comes to email in general, which I know sounds kind of funny because we are sitting on a show floor here where there are all kinds of applications with video and live video, and over there's another video company. There's lots of information here about chatbots and all kinds of AI solutions, but why are we talking about email? Because I feel like that email is still the backbone of a lot of content marketing efforts by brands, and I think a lot of brands aren't doing it as well as they might. And the story I told yesterday was about me. I mean, I wasn't doing it very well either until I sort of started going on this journey of how do we actually create content for email newsletters that people want, that they value. And that was a real revelation to me, and I think that's what I tried to impart yesterday was some lessons that I think we can all take away from that.
So what's your tell?
My tell is, I have a couple of them. The one I shared yesterday is that I do a cold open. And you know what a cold open is, Tim.
What is a
because
cold
you
open?
studied science.
I did
in
study
school.
science. I did very well in science.
So Saturday Night Live, cold open, you know, it's just a flat
Yeah.
out like boom, get right into it. And I do the same thing in my email newsletter because I start so it publishes every other Sunday. And every other Sunday I open with an essay, with a story of something that's relevant to the audience, or something that happened to me, or a conversation I had that I feel like has some bigger lessons that we can all learn from. And so my tell is the cold open. I do the exact same thing in text that I think a lot of effective media, that I think a lot of effective media employs as well. So.
What's the one learning that you think is most helpful to our audience from your bestseller, Everybody Writes?
Just one? Because I feel like we could talk about that for a while.
We can,
First of
but
all,
we
you
got 2
brushed
minutes.
right over the award thing, and I was ready to really talk about that
Let's
for
go back
a
to
long
the award.
time. No, it's fine. You're still bad about the Jimmy Carter thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
still stings.
I'll get over it. I'll get over it.
What was the question?
I wasn't listening.
Oh,
So you tell me.
when'd you get in?
I'm sorry, Tony. I just blew out our audio guy. He's angry now.
Hold on, I can reset the levels.
He's angry. So look, I think I've successfully upset everybody on the staff here today. So, and it always happens with Ann Hanley. John Burkhart was here doing some backup filming for a documentary he's creating about your life, which I'm looking forward to seeing, co-starring Jimmy Carter.
Oh,
That's right.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Is Tina going to be in that one?
Yes, as your stunt double. She's going to do the stunts. Yes.
The content stunts.
Yes. That's exactly right. There are a lot. Yeah, mostly
Wow.
in white papers.
Yes. B2B white paper apprentice. That joke was for you, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I love that one. And I didn't know it was from Latin. I had no idea. But now I know.
Now you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Well, this is that awkward moment where I'm running out of things
Wow.
to talk about.
you know, it's
and
kind of like when you
handling.
go on a date and you have to write down lists of topics
Some
in
things
case you
to
run
say.
out. Put them on your phone. That's a
So,
pro tip.
do you have siblings? What do you think about the koozie? Will that make a comeback?
Koozies are, yeah.
Okay.
They're
Do we have any call-in
they're a-
questions or
they're a
callers?
constant.
Anything? Can we go to
Oh, look, we got somebody from the audience.
sponsor? Oh, thank
What's
goodness.
that?
Sarah's waving us off. 5 seconds.
Yeah,
And-
so they're asking about the award.
Great.
So the
and
award.
we're done. We're out. Somebody, look, we'll have to do it in post. I'm out of time.
All right,
Okay.
that's good.
But we'll go to video of the award later. How about that?
Okay, will
Okay. All right. Ann Hanley, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I'll clap. All right. Very nice dress.
man. This is not hard.
And we're back. Robert Rose is joining us, talking about men who don't know wine. So we're going to dive deep into that. Robert, look, first of all, you were so Hollywood, it's very hard for me not to call you Bobby.
Oh my.
Let me talk to you about, how do you come up with these concoctions? If you follow Robert on Facebook, and you know that he, I think about every Friday afternoon, we get a shot from Malibu.
Yeah.
If you're in town, or
That's right.
in Switzerland, with your concoction.
That's right.
To bring in the weekend.
That's right.
Okay. Were you a bartender before?
Well, no, I just spend most weekends drunk. So, truly, I am a fan of the craft cocktail, and so I fancy myself in another lifetime some kind of bartender.
Yeah.
And so I love to just experiment with different kinds of drinks, and so it just sort of became a thing. And because I don't take pictures of my food otherwise, I figured this is the one thing that I can share on social media, and I put the recipe in as always as well, so that other people can make it.
Now, do you have ownership over the recipe, in the sense that do you get upset that somebody might use like a generic brand of Tabasco?
No, they're all open source coding.
Okay.
So it's all about sharing and without attribution. So it's all they can make them and all of that. It's
no heavy
I'm
brand
trying
control.
to do it for the public good. I mean, you know me, Tim. I'm all about the public good. I want to make sure that I'm sacrificing myself for the benefit of others.
And they're talking about you for the Nobel Prize this year.
They are.
That's
they
right.
Are.
For public good.
They are.
I think you'll win that.
Yeah.
Listen, tell me about your most interesting trip this year. You travel more probably than anybody I know.
It's a true gift. I like to say that I've got the second best job on the planet, because the people that I get to visit with are the ones who get to tell the stories, and I'm just there to help them tell it a little better. So I'm getting to run around and visit with all kinds of businesses all over the world, and talk about content, their strategy, how they're using content to create better experiences for customers. I think my favorite trip this year has been, I've been a couple of times this year to different parts of Scandinavia, so Copenhagen, and also to Stockholm and Oslo, and have been at a couple of events there. But I just absolutely adore that part of the world. And this was the first year that I actually got to do it in the summertime, which meant that it was actually light out.
Right.
Because most of the time when I do it in December, it's
It's dark the entire time.
24/7.
Yes.
So this was and it's such a beautiful part of the world. I love it there.
And like minus 40 degrees. So
exactly.
That's a little
in the
better.
wintertime,
Yes.
right? When I was there this year, in the summertime, it was, quite frankly, in the high 60s or low 70s, and beautiful sunshine, and it was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. And of course, the people there are like abnormally beautiful. I mean, they are just, they are freaks of nature in terms of how pretty they are.
That's exactly right. We were filming a video at Sochi at the Olympics back in 2014, and I always made sure when I went into the breakfast, the eating area, to sit on the opposite side, of those folks, because you feel a heck of a lot uglier walking into that room.
You come with both the American baggage as well as your own physical baggage.
There was a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
I looked at a lot of ink blots on that trip, and it all goes back to mom, doesn't it? What are you going to do?
It's all about your mother.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Can we talk about that for the time left? Hey, you and Carla Johnson. Let's talk about your collaboration.
Okay. We collaborated on a book called Experiences, the Seventh Era of Marketing, and it was this idea that we had both seen in our various travels with different clients and the engagements that we'd seen, where this move from marketing products and services to the idea of creating experiences, be they content or physical or whatever they are, creating experiences for customers was a new strategy. And this was, going on 2-3 years ago, and it has since really bloomed. This idea of no matter what part of the customer journey we're trying to optimize, right? From the first time they meet us as a brand, to the time that they're considering us as a product or service they might want to purchase, to the time that we're trying to create them as loyal advocates of our product or service. It's all about how do we actually create experiences that they value. Because quite frankly, and the research proves this out, buyers today value the experiences that they have with brands more than they do the products or services themselves. In other words, when I buy a pair of sneakers, it's not about the pair of sneakers, it's about the experience that is created when I actually buy the pair of sneakers. So that means every e-commerce interaction, every interaction I have in a store, every content interaction I have, the way that you advertise to me, creating that customer experience becomes a much more holistic challenge. And we were very, very blessed really to come out with something that I think is really good. And of course, working with Carla is a dream. She's, you know, a fantastic collaborator.
Good people.
Yeah.
She's good people.
Absolutely.
Can I play you in the movie when that comes out? Grow the hair a little
No,
bit?
I think that role's going to Matthew Modine. I think. Yeah.
All right, in the movie Cocktail, are you more of a Brian Brown or a Tom Cruise?
Oh no, I think I'm more. Yeah, you know, I'm more that drunk guy at the bar that's sitting on the stool, watching Tom Cruise
doing the thing and just acting impressed.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're really annoyed.
Yeah,
rolling your eyes on the inside.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's me.
So listen,
which I guess is really Brian Brown when you.
That's Brian Brown. That's exactly
when you
right.
really get down to
but
it.
more of a Brian Brown in FX.
Yeah, that's right.
If you think about it, you know, very creative, resourceeful, knows how to blow stuff up.
Yeah.
That's you to the T. That's what your LinkedIn profile.
That's kind of my no. In actuality, that's my marketing practice. And you know, I run around the planet and blow stuff up.
That's right. That's your brand. And now we're going to have the feds busting down this place in no time. There's no C4. They just swept the place. Here come the guard dogs right now. Okay, that's not going to be good. What would you tell a man like me when I'm out and I order a Pinot and I describe it every time as fruit forward, precocious, and ostentatious? Because I'm just making up things. What would you say? How do I get to know more about wine?
Drink more of it.
Okay.
I mean, that's the primary thing, is just drink more of it. And you know, it's funny, one of the things that I have taken to doing is, you know, the whole idea of whether you like wine or scotch or food of any, you know, whatever it is that you love doing, it's you end up, it's what you like. Right, and I think the biggest advice I have is don't be swayed by what the experts say is good. Enjoy what you enjoy. You know, everybody loves rosé, and all the experts are saying, "Oh my God, rosé is that." I can't stand rosé. I think rosé is I can't even drink it. So I don't drink it, and so I'm not going to pretend to like something that I don't like. So. Love what you love and just drink a lot of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. That's exactly the advice I was looking for.
That's how I live my life, basically. Yes. Love what you love and drink a lot of it.
Okay. Do you have a T-shirt made for that?
Yes. Hashtag.
Call us now, the 800 number. Operator stand by if you want the Robert Rose coaster. Drink what you love and drink more of it. So, listen, thank you for being on the show. It was very difficult to get you on here, and we're very grateful for that. And,
it was really difficult.
It
was really hard. I know my booking agent said, you know, it was for weeks we were trying to make this.
We had to throw around some. We were able to. Only way we got him is Obama had to make the call.
That's
for
right.
us, and then we booked it up. So
that's right.
That was good. Stay tuned. Next, we're going to take a sneak peek at Cocktail 3. All right. Thank you very much.
Absolutely,
brother.
Thank you.